Whenever I'm feeling miserable, I scrounge a few dollars out of my jacket pockets and tromp up to the bar I don't like. The bar is about 3/4 of a mile from my apartment and wholly forgettable, but ostensibly a metal bar. The first time I visited, I did what I do whenever I find myself in a new bar. Go to the jukebox and see what record is number 69. Here, it was Thin Lizzy's thoroughly non-seminal Jailbreak. I've never listened to that album the whole way through, and by the grace of God, I know I'll never need to, for I know that Jailbreak features at least 2 songs. The Boys Are Back in Town, and whatever song comes after The Boys Are Back in Town, which reminds you that you need to hit rewind. Now let's make one thing excruciatingly clear. The Boys Are Back in Town is an incredible song, and I love it. I love it so much. When my roommate leaves for work in the morning, I genuflect towards his wonderful dog, who respects me. I press my forehead into his flank and I whisper, "The boys are back," over and over again. The dog turns his furry brow to look into me, and I know he respects me even more, for I have done as Mrs. Lizzy commanded. I have spread the word around. I am pulled back again and again into this bar I do not like by an uncontrollable and carnal drive, a loyalty to the boys, and a congenital love of hollering. I'm usually content to summon this song just once from the jukebox of the bar I do not particularly like, as even one play is a parade for the spirit. That's the life I lived for several months. I would enter the bar, queue up The Boys Are Back in Town, slam beers until the jukebox arrived at my selection, then clap my hands, clutch them to my chest, and maybe recite a psalm from the mother tongue of my proud rural people. Perhaps, "Oh hell yeah, or now that's what I'm talking about," to the silence around me. Then I would leave. And over the course of these past few months, I have come upon 2 bits of forbidden knowledge. 1, this bar does not have a working kill switch, which allows the bartender to change a song in case someone plays, the entire A-side of 2112. 2, this jukebox permits the same song to be played back to back if each instance was paid for with a separate bill. So, it was 3 AM on a recent Tuesday when, standing in the dark outside my train station, these truths reconciled themselves within me. My compulsion became explicit and inescapable. I needed to stay up and play The Boys Are Back in Town as many times as I could. The thorns from the road ahead cleared themselves, and I walked towards the future amid roses to share the gospel with the other patrons of this unlikable bar. The boys were back. This is a familiar and lonely road. I play the same song over and over again in my apartment, and I've done it in bars and I'll do it again. One foggy summer evening amid the delightful garbage bars of San Francisco's Outer Richmond district, I watched a shot glass sail past my head, when Annie Lennox's rapturous, transcendent, holy, holy walking on broken glass surfaced for the 4th near consecutive time. I've been cut off by America's greatest bartender when she realized my plan to continually play different recordings of the Monster Mash. I have compelled friends and strangers in a doomed bar of downtown Houston to listen to Soft Cell's Sex Dwarf on loop with me until I was certain that everyone's evening had been thoroughly ruined. This is the era of late capitalism, where bigger is always necessarily better, without exception. To the true doomed disciple, to listen to a song more times is to enjoy the song more deeply. General Funny Man John Mulaney wrote a bit about looping Tom Jones's What's New Pussycat, which has been sent to me in a dozen group chats, but there are thousands more like me. Maybe you've even slept with one. And we're all very sorry. We are terrible, ecstatic, self-ruinous creatures, greedy for and undeserving of love. The soul of our sweet delight can be purchased for 3 songs $1. We grab our little joys and squeeze until we've throttled them between white-knuckled fingers. So that night at the bar I do not respect, I played Ronnie James Dio's Holy Diver between the second and third repetitions of The Boys Are Back in Town, because that song is excellent. And when Thin Lizzy reappeared, the people of the bar united in groan song. Cocktail napkins flew like weekend litter in a gust of 24 exasperated sighs. I betrayed myself with a giggle, and the table sitting nearest me caught on. Some dude asked me why I'd done this. "The boys are back in town!" I stammered. "The boys are back!" The opening notes of the fourth occurrence of The Boys Are Back in Town was met with an immediate shattering of glass, a roar of fuck words, and the small but rapid egress of people whose ears were closed to the good news about the town, and the boys who were back in it. 2 wild-eyed men, drunken and furious, descended upon the jukebox and lifted it away from the wall to get at the plug. When things had resettled, there was a line to queue up songs at the jukebox, which I joined. "Are you fucking going to play The Boys Are Back in Town again?" asked a voice when I reached the jukebox. I absolutely, 100% am not going to play The Boys Are Back in Town again, I promised, punching the buttons to select The Boys Are Back in Town, which I had memorised. And then the voice requested that I refrain from ever playing any songs on that jukebox ever again for the rest of my life. So the next time The Boys Are Back in Town emerged, nothing happened. I was finally able to celebrate in peace 4 minutes and 27 seconds later when Gorham's guitar kicked in again. This bar I will never celebrate transformed into the island from Lord of the Flies. 2 men began pushing each other while the man nearest to me grew new throat muscle specifically to scream "I hate this song" in his own lap. Someone else's music selection granted us a brief intermission, which the bartender, to whom I am sorry, used to issue a funereal notice of the last call. As she finished speaking, Thin Lizzy started again, and my credit card appeared in front of me with a request that I leave. Immediately, I left with a full heart, flush with new knowledge about the town and the boys within it, who now would never leave. A word of whom I had spread around. I would also be severely late to work the next morning. The jukebox in the corner blasting out my favourite song as described in The Boys Are Back in Town. It's also playing The Boys Are Back in Town. So recently incinerated, and with the ashen pallor and anxious charisma of a new and fresh heartbreak, I returned a few evenings ago to my familiar perch at the bar I do not like. My motions were poised, automatic, insert dollar, punch in the magic numbers of 6906. Gaze thoughtfully into the abyss of the record collection. In that moment, I was my best self. I found a seat, and I waited. But I never heard that familiar riff that I love most. Some nondescript hair metal wafted out the stereo, and the evening collapsed upon me with the furious weight of realization. This bar I will never enter again had removed Thin Lizzy's jailbreak from its jukebox. Where are the boys? I am in the town, looking outward. Time is space. The distance between me and the boys unravels the years before me. Come back to us, boys. Come back to me. The multitudes within me are expanding and I am breaking at the seams. I am becoming my own universe and the boys are nowhere to be seen. Thirst will never leave you completely. The body demands water until it drowns, and I had spread the word around until there was no word left to spread. Gorged on the beauty of exuberance, I dove, I pressed my finger against the floor of the sea. Today, we're lost to the boys from town, and my whole life has been taken. There's a footnote that says the guy who wrote this runs fucking backyard wrestling in Austin, Texas. What?
I hear you calling me. I wanna word you up into my life. Let's love up to make a single star in the sky.